Good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello. My name is Lakeisha Hines. You are watching the Firestarter Show, and tonight we are talking about how to become better teammates. How to become better teammates. This is the reality. You and your spouse at some point have to come to the realization that you are on the same team. You are not opponents, you are actually allies, your teammates. And in my book, Love Covers, I talk about how opposites don't win. When I am on one team and you're on another team, guess what's going to happen? No one is going to win. We have to be on the same page. So, tonight we're talking about how to actually become better teammates. And if we be completely 100% transparent, keep it 100, right? It's not easy. It's not always easy to follow through on that. You don't always feel like teammates, but that's why we can allow our feelings to dictate our actions, right? Because feelings are fickle and they change like the wind. If you and your spouse are not aligned on your goals, dreams, aspirations, it actually literally can be, it can feel and actually be you actually working against each other, and it literally feels like you're doing life alone. And that is the last thing that we want, right? Is to be doing life alone. So we definitely have to be in a position where we set ourselves up to be better teammates. So again, that's what we're talking about this evening. The very first thing that you can do to become a better teammate is to let your partner in. Let your partner in. You want to make sure that you recognize and appreciate each other's strengths. And then also on the flip side of that, we have to be in tune and sensitive toward each other's vulnerabilities, right? We have to make sure that when we're communicating with our partners and with our spouses, that we are treating those areas of opportunity delicately. We need to provide coverage for each other in those areas of opportunity. So, there are times where, I'll joke oftentimes and I'll say, that's why I married my husband, because I don't have to do math, because he is definitely the stronger one as it pertains to numbers, and it pertains to the finances and balancing the account and budgeting and doing all those things. And so I often joke and say that's why I married him. So I didn't have to do math. But guess what? When it comes to trying to understand people dealing with the emotional aspects of raising our children and those vulnerabilities. Well, guess what? He says, well, that's why I married a psychology major, because she's able to speak to those children and understand and process from a different perspective from what I can. And we both have those strengths, but we also have those areas of vulnerability. So he doesn't give me a hard time if I struggle to try to come up with a plan to organize our finances, a budget, or whatever. And I don't give him a hard time when he's not able to see it from my vantage point or from the kid's vantage point or whatever the case may be. Because again, we all have our areas of opportunity. So we want to make sure we cover each other. Don't highlight and point out each other's areas of opportunity. Instead, work with them and give them grace. And then, when we get into a place where we are truly vulnerable with one another, then we can be open and honest about our struggles, our fears, our insecurities, all of those things. And oftentimes that means letting go of your pride. And actually getting into a place where you do an inventory, you take inventory of yourself, right? Where you literally are trying to understand yourself. And that requires a certain level of self reflection. We both have to be able to let our guards down, drop the defensiveness, and get into a place where we can support each other and show up as our best selves. And that's ultimately what we should be doing every day, working, striving to show up as our best selves. So we definitely need to give our partners and our spouses a criticism and judgment free space to be emotionally safe so that they can truly be vulnerable and express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions without feeling as if something is going to be taken and turned back around, used against them, whatever the case may be. Okay. So, listen, we're literally just scratching the surface right now on these topics. We're going to take a quick break. Don't swipe left, don't swipe right, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You're watching the Firestarter Show.
Do you or someone you know have a child with special needs, or as we like to call them, special abilities? If yes, please listen up. SNC 101 is here to the rescue. SNC 101, or Special Needs Community 101, is a welcome to the world of disabilities. This program assists new and veteran caregivers of children with special needs to overcome challenges they face on a daily basis. It will ignite the fire within and help you get back to you. You will get three-hour group sessions, three support messages, and a welcome packet with program materials. Topics to be discussed are understanding, accepting, and navigating the diagnosis, self care, maintaining healthy relationships, and so much more. You do not want to miss this boot camp. As a caregiver, you truly are a warrior. You're a fighter. So use the QR code below to register today, soldiers. See you soon.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back again. My name is Lakeisha Hines, and you're watching the Firestarter Show. And if you were just watching, that was actually an introduction to the boot camp that is coming up, SNC 101. Welcome to the special needs community. I must tell you, this is going to be a powerful, powerful boot camp. Three-hour sessions. We will do these sessions once a month, and each one builds off the other one. But it will give you useful and helpful tools if you are a caregiver of a child with disabilities and you just need help navigating this whole special needs world. This is the program for you. So please be sure to tell your family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, neighbors, anybody you know who has a child with disability so that they can get in on this. All right, so we're talking about how to become better teammates. How to become better teammates. Well, the second thing you want to do is to let your partner know your expectations. I say this all the time. You can never hold someone accountable to something that they never knew was an expectation. So when we're talking about being better teammates or having a great team, every member of the team knows exactly what is expected of them, what their role is, and what they're trying to achieve. Not only does that make sure that you both are on the same page, it also helps to create a sense of camaraderie. And so we have to share our expectations with each other because when we don't and the other person doesn't live up to those expectations, we end up with disappointment, which can lead to hurt, bitterness, resentment, pain, frustration, all of those things. And all of that can be avoided if we just communicate and share our expectations with each other. So, some questions that you can ask your spouse or your partner is, what are your expectations for our relationship? What are your expectations for our daily life? What is or what do you believe God's purpose is for your life as an individual, God's purpose for our marriage, God's purpose for our family? So when you communicate those expectations with each other, you make it so much easier for your partner or for your spouse to be able to fulfill those expectations. And so every single day, you should be communicating your expectations. And that can look like checking in the morning or at the beginning of the week or what you have coming up the days ahead and how you want things to go. I will say this checking in, just, touching base every day is good. And you definitely need to do that. I like the idea of setting expectations at the beginning of the week because I think that helps things to flow a lot smoother, and to me that decreases the likelihood that there will be some type of conflict. Okay, so I believe in checking in at the beginning of the week. And I will say my pastor Jomo Cousins, he put it out there that there's three questions that couples should ask themselves at the beginning of each week, or excuse me, at the end of each week. At the end, that's right. And so I'm going to give you beginning and end. At the end of the week, Um, did I offend you in any way this week? Did I offend you in any way? Because that gives you an opportunity to acknowledge, accept, apologize, and change your course of action moving forward. Okay. And then, do you have an unmet need? So if there's an unmet need, guess what? I'm going to do my best to try to fulfill that need once you've explained to me that I did not meet your need. And then the third thing is there anything that I can do to assist with making your week flow smoother in the coming week? So you see, that's at the end of the week, and that's also prepping you for the coming week to make sure that you set the expectations for the week to come. So you must communicate, you must touch base, you have to check in and make sure that you're communicating with each other. So again, you are ensuring that those expectations are being met. You got a big project going on at work, or something major needs to get done around the house, that needs to be communicated. So when both people understand what the goal is and what you're shooting for, what you're aiming for, you can support each other and encourage each other more effectively, more efficiently. And then you can empathize with each other if things don't go how you envision that they would go. So the most important thing is to make sure that you have someone in your corner that's cheering you on or helping you rally when you need it. And that's having a good teammate. All right. So the last thing that you can do to become a better teammate is to let your partner have some grace. Oh my gosh, is this a good one? So this is surrounding people who keep score. Have this running tally of all the times you've had to do a task that your spouse was responsible for, how many times you were right about something, or how much time they spent on a hobby this week. Whatever it is, it's not helping you to become a better teammate. And really, what it is you're focusing on what you don't have, what you're not getting, what's not going right, and whatever you feed will grow. So, all of that negativity, all of those negative things that you're thinking, is actually going to seem way bigger than what it actually is because you're focusing all your time, effort, and energy on that particular thing. And it happens, unfortunately, when you focus on the specific number or quantities being even, then it has a tendency to shift your mindset to you versus your spouse. And I already told you, opponents don't win. Marriage is all about giving and getting in equal and specific amounts to the best of your ability. We understand at times it's not going to be even, and that's okay. If you're pouring in more than you are pulling out, then it will be balanced. Because if I'm taking care of my spouse and my spouse is taking care of me, aren't we both taken care of? The answer is yes. So, again, you must be in a position where you give your spouse some grace because none of us are perfect. We will all make mistakes, and that's okay. The goal is to learn from those mistakes. So now on the flip side of all of this, we're talking about how you shouldn't keep score, but really I'm all about the why behind the what. Why do you feel the need to keep score? What's the bigger issue? Is it something that's causing resentment? Are you feeling like you need more quality time together? Do you need to make some adjustments to how the responsibilities are being divided? So you need to be able to step back, look at it from a broader perspective so you can work together as teammates to come up with a solution. So the reality is this: most people, most couples, they know in their heart and their head that being a team is critical to the success of their relationship. Knowing knowing that it can be difficult to put that knowledge into action in an authentic way is something that literally is, I mean literally it's an understatement, but it's possible. And it all begins with shifting your mindset and putting yourself in the best position to support each other in small consistent ways every single day. So there may be some other things, some other ideas, other suggestions that you have for how to become a better teammate. But these are some top three things that I thought would help and assist you with with becoming better teammates. So, if you have your own ideas and suggestions, please drop them in the comments. I definitely welcome that feedback. And if you and your spouse or your partner are in a position where you need some assistance because we are not on the same team, Lakeisha, we cannot seem to get this together, then you need to reach out and schedule a heat call today. My number is 727-213-8247. You can call or text that number to get some help today. I want to make sure that, as always, you are walking in the fullness of whatever it is that God has for your relationship. So reach out, make that call if you're in need of support or if you know someone in need of support. So I hope you enjoyed this evening. Hope you got something out of it. Until we meet again, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you same time, same place next week. Bye bye, everybody.